I believe you called the order.
Mayor Ader,
Present.
Brandon Carrico, not here. Danny Clark,
The present.
Danny Strange.
Here.
Mark McAfee,
Present.
Attorney Stephen Shubaval,
Present.
Clerk Treasurer Mark Thurston.
Got a chance to look over the prior month's meetings. Ask for a motion to approve the prior month.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Go down to new business. Got a few things under public utilities. I'll go ahead and let, you want these papers back over that? Okay. Got a couple things here that we need to address that are failing.
So out there at the new dump site, I guess you would call it, looking to get a concrete pad poured to be able to dump all of our rock on, so it's not, you know, every time we get a load, it's not eating into the bank and everything. Keep it better organized and all that between the size and kind of rock and sand and all that. The cheapest quote was Hampton's out of Shoals, $15,600. And that's for a 30 by 80 by 6 inch thick concrete pad.
Is it gonna have walls on it?
Yeah, we have those like concrete Legos.
Yeah. So that
We're gonna put
keep
those
your
in
gravel and
between.
sand.
So you don't have to be tonight, but food for thought. Need it sooner than later. And then also down there where they're building the new Oak Street apartments, we have a culvert pipe that we had put in under the road prior to the paving because we knew this project was going to happen. We didn't run it all the way. We don't have the equipment to finish running it how it needs to be. So I have two quotes. One of them's from the company that's down there doing all the dirt work already, United Excavating. Their quote, it's for about 60 foot with a T, backfilling and finishing all the grade. They're $9,163.20. I also have a quote from Cole Walker with Walker and Sons Excavating. Same thing, about 60 foot of pipe with a T and all the materials and backfill and everything. He came in at $8,500 on the nose. So that's what I got for you tonight.
So when can they get it done? Can they both do them? I mean, the one's already down there. So it's a little
Yeah,
higher.
so Cole said the only, and it'll probably be the same with United, but Cole said that the only delay he would have getting there would be waiting on the 36 inch tee to be made because it's a specialty tee being that big.
Okay.
He said it's probably 3 weeks or so before it can be made.
Does United have the same problem then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I forget. I think his name was Tristan, I believe, is who I talked to. He said it would be, I mean, you can't just buy them, they have to be made. So
okay.
I would assume they probably go to the same guy who's down there in Jasper.
So there's no expedience by doing one that's already there as opposed to.
Right. No,
okay.
there's no, it's just pricing difference. One, I mean, about, what is it, about $650 cheaper for a different guy to come in.
Yeah.
And that's
versus
what we're
them
looking
just
for.
to track across the road. So.
And with the concrete pad, I know we're trying to formalize the yard a lot more, so that's part of that. When do you want to do that?
Just, I mean, it needs to be done
Sooner rather than later?
Yeah, sooner rather than later, because right now all of our stuff's just on that hillside.
Yeah.
And I think it would, my opinion, it would be beneficial to have soon. That way, whenever they come in and start grinding all that stone, we have a place to put it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Instead of having to move it twice.
And that's going to be happening pretty soon, right?
Yeah.
The concrete grind.
Yeah, I believe he's supposed to start sometime after Christmas.
Do we have quotes for that then, for the concrete, or you know how much it's going to be?
It was
15,000
less than. It was around 12, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
for a what? 40 by 80.
30 by 80.
30
For
by
the
80.
concrete, yeah, it was 15.6. Sorry, I thought you were talking about the
So I
stone.
thought you said 15
Yeah.
something.
Are you needing a motion for that so we can move forward with that, or?
Yeah.
We're gonna have to do a separate motion on both of them.
Okay.
So we entertain a motion on the concrete one.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
And a motion on the culvert.
I think we need to go with Walker, you know, he's a local boy, keep the money local. He's cheaper.
Okay.
A motion,
I make a
Second.
motion.
all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Yeah, 'cause that one down there with that's the first thing they're gonna be doing over there is putting in the drainage work and stuff like that, so that has to get done
Mhm.
sooner than
Prior,
later,
yeah.
prior to everything, so keep that project going and on time. And if you haven't been down there, it's cleared off really nice, and they're doing a lot of stuff down there, they've been doing a lot of piling,
Go by there the other day.
so yeah, it's moving along, okay. Okay, next item is the code clarification, building commissioner.
You all should have a letter in your packet that Justin wrote up, you could be looking at. He has had a request to have someone file paperwork to build a pond, small pond, 16 by 14. Our building code ordinance has nothing that says anything about ponds, so he doesn't know if, with the size of it, if he should treat it like an in-ground pool with the same stipulations as an in-ground pool, or if they need to apply for a variance through the BZA and go that route. That one would be much more costly for the individuals, but he's just needing clarification from the Board of Work so that he knows where to go and the attorney, from where to go from here, what he does.
And it says here,
In the zoning book, anywhere.
and it says here they are gonna have a fence around it. You know, it's not very, 16 feet long, 14, it's not very big, 6 foot deep. You know, there's goldfish ponds in Jasper bigger than that. You
How
know,
do we treat retention ponds around the city?
I don't know. Daniel, do you
So,
know? That
I mean-
him or you or?
No, I mean, the only ones we have are for the housing and the New Dollar General. Their overflow feeds into a natural drain, so, where he's at, I mean, there is a natural ditch on the other side of it, so if he did an overflow, I mean, he could have it put in that way. He shouldn't have any issues, I wouldn't think, but
I think he needs to come back with the design when he wants to.
yeah, so it's what he's gonna have.
What's your
I
input
mean-
on it?
I mean, swimming pools are definitely different than ponds in different ways. I mean, swimming pools usually have liners or walls of some sort, and ponds have some sort of earth base in them. So, I don't know logistically if there's any logical reason to treat swimming pools differently than small ponds. Well, without having that information, I don't know. We can simply amend an ordinance to address the procedure for ponds, that they should be different than swimming pools, or we can just amend this to apply to both swimming pools and ponds.
You know, I got a pond across my house, Brian, 16 foot deep, and it's a lot bigger than that. Nobody's even got a fence around it.
But they're outside of the city too.
No, they're not.
Are they?
They're in city limits.
Okay.
That's city limits.
Mark and I were talking about, we don't necessarily think that it should be
And
treated like a pool.
there's kids come up there all the time on the golf cart. And I told my wife the other day, this is going to be trouble before it ends. You know, that pond's deep.
So we were talking about not treating it like
Got
a pool,
in town, you gotta have,
Yeah.
well, you gotta have a fence off.
Mm-hmm.
and maybe
And a
look at an
safety
ordinance
cover.
for retaining pools and ponds, not an actual pool.
How long's that pond been up there, Danny?
Probably about 8 years. That thing is monstrous deep. It's a big pond. I just look for something to happen any day, 'cause it's not my pond, it's just across from my house. I see what's going on over there. Local kids ride their bikes up, throw them down. And all he's got's a barbed wire fence for livestock, and they can just climb right underneath of it.
I think if he's building it in the city, making a new one or something like that, it needs to have a fence around it.
I agree.
So that's something we probably need to achieve via an ordinance.
So we were talking about potentially kind of looking at an ordinance that does the retaining ponds and everything. So we can consider it like that. So we'd have to have some type of fence around it.
It's a chain link fence.
Yeah.
Really,
Okay with that?
both of them do.
Chain link or some type of fence.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not going to treat it like a pool.
Okay, so table this until.
You can bring a design in.
Come up with something on this.
I will
As far as we can make the ordinance, like I said, I don't know if there's, requirements when you're installing a pond, if there's certain things we wanna make sure the pond dam doesn't break. I mean, there's things that I'm not overly knowledgeable about when it comes to pond construction and digging ponds.
Then we can get some type of design man from who's doing it. Motion table.
I'll make that motion to table
All right,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
it. Aye.
Next item up is the utility adjustments. You got those in front of you.
So this will probably be the last one we see with the water and grass one. Because starting January 1, we'll do the new ordinance, so.
And I did inform that guy the other day about that being a new ordinance. He wasn't real happy about it, but part of it.
Give him his phone number.
You want to make a motion, you want me
I'll make the motion.
to accept the
Second.
adjustments?
Accept the adjustments.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Department head reports.
For November, I had 56 service calls, 92 locates, 247 office calls. Treated. Sorry, I can't read my handwriting. 12 million gallons of water at the water plant, average of 400,000 gallons a day. Sold 10.9 million gallons. Wastewater plant was at 9.7 million gallons at 32% capacity. 324,000 average per day.
Thank you.
So November we had 92 calls for service, 16 of those turned into actual cases. We had 10 arrests. We wrote 7 tickets, and then I added on here warnings too, so you guys get kind of an idea of how many traffic stops we're doing every month. They're adjusting to it, so they haven't done it every stop, but we're getting better with it. We had 18 warnings though.
I have a few here since I was gone the last two. The one I was gone due to a fire department meeting, the other one I was on vacation, so here you go. September, we had 21, we had 9 medicals and 12 fires. October, we had 21, 11 medicals and 10 fires. And then for November, report would be 22, we had 10 medicals and 12 fires. Also want to kind of give you guys an update on some things. We have started with our Class A's, getting them sized, so some of them are coming in, thank you for that. The rain jackets as well, appreciate that. They're gonna start on the inside of the station sometime when it snows outside DC Metal. They kind of wait on that, so they get some crews there. We did have to get tires for our tanker. I wasn't able to put it on a council meeting, so I made that call. Little under $2,900, that was including rims, because when they got the tires off, they found some of the rims were rusted through. So, and
That's nice.
so I don't know how long that's been or what, but probably since the truck's been there. So we are good to go on that truck. It's actually about 96% ready. The lights aren't working, but what we did was we did purchase a new light bar. I asked Lori, the clerk treasurer, to take it out of our donation fund because I wanted to do it right away. So, the fire department donation paid for that. We've replaced the lights on our QA6 and we upgraded them. And then the lights that are on QA6 are going to go on our tanker. So, and we're going to try to do that in-house.
So those tires were there because of wear, or was that because of time?
Sorry.
The tires you replaced?
They were, what it was is we couldn't, once the tanker got fixed and everything else with the dump tank part of it and was welded, we didn't put water in it. It sat for a little bit till we get it in for tires.
Okay.
So once we had everything back in, the timing of trying to get it on the thing, plus I was going on vacation, the other part, I waited until, this one, and then we found out. So yeah, we had it pushed forward, and everything. So we have all new tires all the way around and rims. So that truck, it can respond if need be. We just don't have the emergency lights for it. So if we get called for mutual aid or something, or within Perry Township, or if we need something, we can use it. Really, it's not a quick response. It's more of a slow response, getting to the hauling water, basically all it's a thing to do. So we are gonna put a light bar on it from the QA6, like I said, and, we're saving money there by doing it in-house. But like I said, we took care of the light bar, asked for donations, so we don't have to come out of anything else. We are doing something new with our camper. We got a quote from Dobson's to wrap the whole thing. We just got it back today. So one thing they're wanting to do is we're wanting to turn that back into more of a fire prevention thing. Kids loved it. This year they took it to the school. Kids had a blast. We did something new this year in October for fire prevention. We had homeschool kids. Never done it before. So they reached out to the guys on the department and they said, sure. They loved it, So what we're going to do is we're taking that camper, we're gonna have it wrapped. We do have a quote. My goal is to talk to businesses in town and see if we can get as much donations as possible, because the quote on that, and I do have pictures, but I'm trying to get the color so I can show you guys what we're wanting to do. The quote from Dobson is $3,140, to do everything on it. That's the whole thing. Nice wrap. We're going to take things out of the inside. We're really going to convert it nice. A new trailer that is set up for prevention. You're looking about, I don't know, $17,000 to $22,000 that's set up. But we have this trailer. We're going to use it instead of just sitting there and let it go to waste.
Dobson's been doing all our police cars too, haven't they, John?
Yeah, they did the two command vehicles as well. So I think they're giving us a pretty good quote on that. But just kind of give you a heads up. Next council meeting, I'll have this in colors. I want you guys to see what we're going to have and everything what it's going to be. But like I said, we've already had $400 in donations, so we're still pushing through and hitting some businesses and stuff. Worst case scenario.
Where'd you purchase your tires at?
Du Bois County Tire.
Okay.
Yeah, they always cut us a good deal. They did really good on the last ones when they were like $13,000 and we ended up paying like a little over 10.
Just out of curiosity, what they charge you per rim for those?
About
$100, 150.
roughly, I think 150, sound about right. They had stock there. They went with a little smaller rim that was going to work and everything because the tire. We have an aggressive tire on there, so yeah, I think around $150 for both rims. And they're duals on the back. So.
Eric, how much donation money would you have to raise for the light bar?
The light bar, we have our own fund, donation fund, that's in there. So it's whatever's in there. I told her, I said, I'm not even going to mess with turn it in. We'll do it ourselves on that. So we have some donation money.
I'm just curious if you could use that money off this wrap and say you come up with a way of reimbursing you that. How much was it?
A little over 28. It's like 20 some change and stuff. So
Almost the same price.
yeah, we're about $300. Well, if you go $2,900, $200. Yeah, I mean that'd be fine. I mean, like I said, we're just I feel like a nickel and dime a lot, trying to ask for a lot of things.
Well, it's quarters. It's quarters and dollars, not nickels and dimes.
Let's go hundreds and dollars, 20s and 50s.
There you go.
So I feel like that. So we're doing what we can to hit our businesses up, because this is for them as well, because the better we do as far as fire safety, hopefully we can cut things down in cost. Yeah. And then kind of get that out there so the insurance can say, hey, this is what the fire department does to hopefully help out with our ISO ratings as well. So, but yeah, I mean, that's something we can look into as well. But
we need to get an auxiliary for the police department.
So yeah,
they really help you guys out a lot. So
they did. I'd say they probably get as close to 60,000 this year.
Yeah.
With things they've done. So they're gonna hit it hard next year. They're kind of taking holidays and everything else, taking a little bit of a break. But I know a lot of places have been hit with donation wise.
Yeah.
Other than that, you guys have any questions? Anything you want to know? 24/7, my phone is available. If you don't have my number, I'll give it to you. If you have any questions within the fire department on some things, feel free to call me, and I'll answer them. We have meeting first Monday of the month. You're more than welcome to show up to one of our meetings, kind of see what kind of portrays and goes on. I may let you know when it's a good night and show up for a good meal. So we try to do some of that. And we're back to our training, because 2027 our ISO rating is going to be coming out. So, and we're looking good on track with that. Good. Hopefully we can get it down, and that's our goal. So, all right, thank you.
Anything else for discuss? Well, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Continue on.
Oh. I think so.
You can take a hat.
I haven't think about those reindeers yet, you know?
No other than.
Next time, huh?
You just jump over the desk.
You look at me and be like, everything goes pretty slick. I didn't think this is gonna be on the road.
Okay, we'll go ahead and call to order the city council meeting. We'll stand for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Present.
Mark Hagerty,
Present.
Henry Howard,
Here.
Dave Cadet,
Here.
Carol Rahal,
Here.
Mayor Brian Ager,
Present.
Attorney Stephen Peterball,
Present.
Clerk Treasurer Lori Perry. Thank you.
Under the old business, Hendrick Web Design contract renewal. Oh, I skipped the mail, okay, sorry. Approval for the prior month's minutes.
I'll make a motion as presented to accept the minutes.
Second.
Second by Carol, in favor,
Aye.
Aye.
and now we'll go with claims. The motion to approve the claims as submitted.
I reviewed the claims, they looked standard to me, so I'll make the motion.
Second,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
I'd like to, first of all, say that kind of along the lines of claims, that things look really nice downtown. I think, things have gone well for the parade, the stroll and all that stuff. Looking at the claims this month, some of the purchases, things, would it be possible at maybe the February meeting to get a list of what was purchased, what funds it came out of, kind of get a printout so we can see, so we can budget maybe for next year, because some of it's coming out of edit fund and we both know it's going to get tight in a year or so. So we can look at that in February and then sit down in August and make a budget for next year. Because we want to keep moving forward. So.
Well, also, I'm gonna look at, what's gonna cost to buy a few other things. That tree on the triangle is a little bit small, but, you know, we didn't wanna blow the budget or anything, and see what it take to make that a little bit bigger, and I can get those costs by next month as well too, and, I think though, we're not in too bad a shape overall, you know, you're always gonna wanna add a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, we've got stuff right now that, for the water fountain, we get time when we get good weather, is to put some greenery in each of the bowls and then put some icicle lights around it to drape over. Try kind of dress that up, and got some candy canes, and we can get them all up still. I don't know if we got enough yet, but that's a few things we still have. So we do have some things we're gonna have left over for replacement stuff for next year if need be as well. So yeah, I think we can get all that together.
Yeah, we just get together, take a look at it, and then plan for next year, because as we know, it's going to get tight.
It'll be here before you know it.
It's going to be tight, some of the funds that we're going to.
Yeah.
And then too, Eric had talked about them using donation money to pay what, $2,800 or so?
Oh, yeah.
Do we have a fund or something we can help out with that, where they could use that money for other things?
Well, you could take that 2,800 out of the lit money and.
I mean, yeah, I mean.
Because that was something
safety?
you needed.
Yeah.
That wasn't a need, so I think we ought to try to help them out when there's needs.
We have a public safety fund, right?
Yeah.
That's something that could come out of that, yeah.
Without hurting it.
There's money in there. Yeah. We're talking $2,800. Yeah. I'd like to try to do that if we could. And they could use that money for other things. You guys good with that?
All good.
You wanna make a motion just go ahead and do that?
Yeah, I'll make that motion, but take that money out of lit and reimburse the fire department. But I think we're responsible for the needs.
Get a second?
Second.
Second by Mike, all in favor?
Aye.
There you go, Keith.
Merry Christmas.
Now what do you get on the web design?
Now you go.
Do you have that information? Well,
It should
we
only be in
got
your
it.
package, yes.
You want to explain it?
The proposal we saw last time, I did make a copy of the email that he sent out to all of you and to, various citizens. And then I printed off the sample of what the new website is going to be looking like. It's not up and going yet, but he's hoping it will be up and going and ready by the end of the year. So we need the yearly contract self-renews, and he goes ahead and puts them in here so that you all can see it and know what's going on from year to year. There are two add-ons they had quoted in the back. Those, if we want to do them, we need to vote on that. But that, those are just additional, the main thing we do definitely, you need to make a motion to make sure you renew. It does self-renew, but it's always good also to have you guys approve it every year, just so you know. You've seen it, you made your choice, you said yes.
So right now, we're doing the $479 a month, is that correct? Are we doing the others as well? His first proposal is $479 a month for these services. That's what we're doing now? We'll be doing?
Yes, we pay that. We pay the $479, that's for the website.
Mm-hmm.
And then the $165, that second page is a little too.
We're doing that too now.
So we're doing that too, currently. Those are the ones, that's the emergency text message system that we just set up this year, and the others for the website. The other two are for, if we want to have a text message service that's for non-emergency items, we can set that up. And then the last one is if we want their company to kind of collectively put everything we have like each month in like a newsletter that sends out to people. Those were just kind of the newsletter is kind of a wish list item. It's not necessarily something the non-emergency one, we felt like that was, if you're gonna go with any of the add-ons, that's one we would like to see. The city, because then we could do things like street closures that aren't, if it's not an emergency, we cannot put it on. So if we're just closing the streets for the parade, that's not an emergency, we can't send a text message out for that. But we could if we had the other text message service. So things like, if there's, other street closures, if there's non-emergency things that the city would like to reach out to people, then we can only do it if we have the second text message service.
But the non-emergency stuff could go on the website.
It could go on, yeah. It can go, again, I'm not saying it's not a wish list item too, but it's one I think we would get more use out of immediately than, the newsletter. So they can get everything from the newsletter, but they can also get on the website. So, and sometimes, the one thing about it is sometimes it's a little hard to get things out, like we could, on the non-emergencies, we could send out text messages reminding people, you know, if there's a meeting, a special meeting that's been scheduled outside of our regular schedule. That's something that could go out and send text message saying, hey, there's a meeting, because it goes on the website, but you don't necessarily.
So it's not up and running yet.
The last two are not. The new website is not. We still have our old website, but the new one that they're re-updating.
No, I was seeing it scheduled for January 1st, 2020.
Yeah, he was hoping it would be done sooner, but they kind of, after the last meeting, and he kind of stepped back a minute. That's why he reached out to you all and said, hey, are there other things you would like to see? So he reached out to make sure that he was catching it, because it's better to do it now before it's deployed than after the fact.
So these other things that would include like the mayor's meeting that he gets online and does, which I think is good.
Those are on his FaceTime, on Facebook, so.
We put that on the city's Facebook page.
Why wouldn't we have just one website?
Well, we have our Facebook page, we just have our our website just separate. It's, more for the official, it also holds all of our, trying to get all of our documents, we're trying to eventually get all of our ordinances scanned and on
I
there,
understand that.
and all that. We wouldn't be able to put that really on Facebook as easily. I mean, it'd be hard to go through and for people to search and find those things.
I think you're allowed to use social media as an official.
Yeah, I don't know that, and even if you said, I don't know that you'd want your website that's got the official. I mean, you can put it on the
So right now we're about
everything on the website. It needs to go on the website, basically.
we're about $644 a month now. That's what we're spending.
Yes.
And the other non-emergency would be $127 a month. The non-emergency stuff could go on the website. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. We justify spending $127 for non-emergency stuff.
People on the website, it's just a matter of whether or not people keep up on that and look and watch. So it's not, those last two are not things we have to have. They would be things that would be official. And it could be a thing to where you could, we can always add them on possibly in another year.
Well, I mean, I'm all for what we're currently doing, personally. It stays 644, and then if 6 months down the road we needed to add something, I'm sure he wouldn't turn it down.
How hard would it be to issue council members and people that need them passwords to get in?
The website?
Yeah.
I don't know. I would have to talk to Cameron. I don't even have that on the website. So I know Amber did. I don't know if she does still.
Dave.
But it's Daniel, I think, may have at some point in time or is going to get it. But it's
Not in favor of that.
Amber even said it's a very difficult system for her. That's part of the reason why she likes that Cameron takes care of it. It's very confusing.
Well, I'd make a motion on this that we keep what we currently have, and not do any of the other add-ons at this time, and look into it later if we think it's something we need.
Got a motion?
I think I'll have to agree with Dave on that.
Mark second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next item is from Taylor Tech. Got a quote for $396.99. Basically what this is to go wireless off of this screen so we can use it more efficiently. Right now, anybody comes in laptop, they gotta plug in, we gotta have the wires hanging out and everything, and it's kind of a hassle, but if we go with the wireless on that, then you can get on the computer and just do it from where you're at a desk here or sitting out there instead of having to try to get everybody on with a wire, HDMI cord.
That's a one-time thing.
One-time thing, yes. So we're wanting, I say we as a city, I'd like to see us start utilizing this a lot more and being able to put some stuff up on there that we can take off of the laptop, and like we got the streets that we're gonna get this next year. we actually do a visual on the screen and let everybody actually see what's going on, do that with some more things, and also possibly, do like what the high school does. They come up and they do their highlight. They've got a really good presentation during their board meetings, and, like to kind of emulate that down here to where we can actually, instead of telling everybody, trying to explain it, you can put it up there on the screen and look at it. You get more visualization on it. So, and that will help us do this.
I'll make the motion that we, take care of that $396.99 on that.
Okay. A motion from Mike, second.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Alright. Next is the community crossings grant. The city of Loogootee, we got an email last week. We applied for the community crossings grant, which allows us to do the paving and stuff that we've been doing. Last year, we got 2 rounds of it. We can only get up to $1.5 million between the 2 rounds. We got the full $1.5 million plus our match, which was $375,000. So basically, last year when they finished the paving up this year, we did $1,875,000 worth of asphalt work. That was at 25% match. This time, it's capped at $1 million, but it's only 20% match. So we got the whole $1 million this time again. So it's going to be $1,200,000. So from last year to this year, and they won't start paving till March, April, depending on when the weather gets good. So that's $3,075,000 in 2 years, basically, that we've gotten from, you can say $2.5 million, basically, and then we did the match. So we're getting a pretty good bang for our buck. And we do have a list of streets here that are going to be getting done. And we're going to put this on the Facebook and website. So, but anyway, Wood Street, from Walker Street, let's see here, Wood Street, First Street, yes, off of 231 to the intersection where you go to the post office. That's going to be redone with all new curbing and sidewalk where it needs it. And then from Walker Street up to the school on Wood Street is going to be done the same way. And the question would be, why aren't we doing the rest of Wood Street? Is because coming off Walker Street, we've got to do a lot of drainage issues there, coming down Wood Street, then back cut across by the Lutheran Church there. So we're going to try to go after money for that in the next go around in June or July. So we have East 3rd Street, then South Oak Street to Pine Street, Elm Street, Sycamore Street to Clark Street. Mulberry Street's going to be from Vincent to Vincent Street, Williams to Vincent Street. Doyle Street's going to be all the way around Acton Avenue. And then we got Walnut, South Oak, and Popular Street from Elm Street to East 1st Street. So this is here in the office. If anybody wants to come by and look at what we're doing, what they're going to be having done, we're actually going to do a lot of paving, a lot of sidewalk replacement. Going to be doing some curb replacement, culvert replacements, and we're going to do like we did on North Street. We're going to be widening the roads a little bit, getting rid of a lot of the gravel in places so we don't have that maintenance issue. So, and NDOT's paying for that except 20%. We got to match 20%. So we get the $1 million, we got to put out $200,000. And so right now we've still got money still in good shape with our MVH street, and push comes to shove, you can always use edit fund for that too. So
We shouldn't have to, right?
So we did
Shouldn't have to, right?
Shouldn't have to, no. So I wouldn't say that we did get more money for asphalt. So quite a few roads done. CC Country Court 5 payout.
I did not get one this
Okay.
time. We don't always have one. We did not have one.
Okay. Next item, special events ordinance.
So we've there's some proposed changes to the special events ordinance. The primary change is that as far as locations where special events can be held, The preference is still Loogootee City Park or the green space area located in downtown Loogootee. But other locations may be considered, with the exception there's going to be a bar of 240 feet from the center of the town fountain where no special events may be located in that area. And that would apply to every single festival, whether they're city sponsored or a private festival. And other than that, the ordinance pretty much stays as it is.
This is just basically the first reading, just an update on that, and then the next meeting we'll read and have final vote on it. Correct?
Correct.
Okay. Extraordinary expense ordinance.
Once again, this is a modification to the previous ordinance. The changes here are that the fee will be $300 per street intersection that would need to be closed. The barriers that will be used to close intersections will be concrete barriers, and that covers the concrete barrier usage, cones, and the labor involved moving those barriers. And then the other change is for when they are built, the restrooms down at the green space area, there'll be a $50 per day cleaning fee, as well as a $100 security deposit for any group that's holding a special event that wants to use those restrooms once they are constructed.
That's the first reading on that. Okay. Now you got one for the to amend the handbook.
Yes. So this will be an amended ordinance for the City of Loogootee Employee Handbook. With regard to the City of Loogootee Employee Handbook, and whereas vacation time is addressed in that handbook, the handbook shall hereby be amended to allow, with the approval of the Board of Works, to deviate from the vacation allowance based on years of service for the purpose of hiring employees based on years of service in similar jobs.
Another reading on that next one.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll throw it out of the way. Next item is the adoption of the holiday and meeting schedule for approval for the 2026 calendar year.
They're in your packet.
The redevelopment.
I did also on the meeting one. You'll notice it includes also the redevelopment, because we will be having a redevelopment commission on the same night.
Redevelopment commission will start at 5.
Yeah. And then
Board of
Board of
Works
Works will be
at
at 6 and council after Board of Works. But I also did include, if we have a special meeting at the end of the year, I went ahead and included it on the schedule so you're aware of it. So I don't have to remember to give notice for it again next year.
And our next meeting here will be December 29th.
Yeah.
We've got a few meetings that night, and that's to clear up any and all other expenses that need to be taken care of, and also deal with some other issues with the redevelopment commission at that point.
We need a motion on both.
Yep. Need a motion to adopt both of those proposed schedules for 2026 calendar schedule.
I'll make the motion.
Have a motion,
Second.
second, all in favor? Next up is the proposed salary and wage ordinance. I think Lori has calculated in a 4% raise. Now that, you can change that if you want to change that. You can do 1%, 2%, you can do 25%, but.
Well, let's not do 25%.
No, we're not gonna do 25%.
That's not really in the budget. 4% is what we built into the budget that wasn't approved. So
But even though
4% is in there.
4%'s built in doesn't mean you have to go with that. That's strictly up to the council for what you want to do.
And I did add the ranges to everything this year, so you'll see that there's a range of numbers at each position except for the yearly salaried ones. So it looks a little different than last year because it had, last year had total, this year it has hourly amount.
There was no raise put in for city council, correct?
I don't know.
Well, I don't think it, me
I
personally, I don't think there should be.
I think the girls put 4% across the board for everybody. So if you want me to change that, I mean, that's completely changed.
I personally do, but I'm just one person, so
I just need to know.
I knew what to pay when I ran. So I think we ought to be like Congress. If we want to do a raise, we do it our last time, and if people want to vote for us, fine. If not, fine. I don't think we ought to vote ourselves in a raise. That's just me.
I agree.
And I can drop that, I mean, take that back off, that's fine with me. I mean, it's your call.
Yeah, I would take out any raise for city council. That's just my stance.
They're actually a raise given to the city council.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't,
No, it doesn't.
I don't think there was.
I thought it said because
No,
the annual people weren't given the 4% raise.
51 something, wasn't it? You have to show 53 here. I think it was 51 something.
yeah.
This was last year's.
Same amount?
Nope, it's 51 there.
Yeah, I think
So,
last year was 51.20 or something like that.
And Board of Works, I think, went up. Yeah. So I just.
Board of Works went up too.
Across the board for everybody.
No, I didn't say anything. I haven't said anything about that one. I'm just talking about the council. I don't,
So, Coach has proposed you guys stay at the same rate that you're at, currently, which is 51 something. I can't remember off the bat, but I know it's somewhere around there. And let the rest of it go, is what you're saying, Coach?
Well, I'm just saying that I don't know the percent yet, but I don't think council ought to have a raise. It's just.
So, but does the other council agree with that and want to adopt it according to what Coach has proposed there?
I do, yeah.
Okay, so you
I
got
agree.
Coach motion, second by Mike, all in favor to adopt this.
Aye.
Okay, make sure that we go back to the council staying at the current rate that they're at right now. Okay. Everybody was in favor. And we got the special meeting December 29th, 2025 at 5 p.m. That's the city council. Okay.
Under essential business, I would like to mention the fact that the Martin County Commissioners had a meeting on November 21st. And they were asked at that meeting their stance on the Mid-States Corridor, and they were unified against the Mid-States Corridor. And I think our city government is also unified, and I'd like to, we talked to the county council and the other entities in this county about having a document signed by all the elected officials, shows Loogootee, Crane, shows Martin County, that we can submit to NDOT, update that from 2 years ago. And because we've met with NDOT on this corridor subject, and they've told us the power is in the signatures of the elected officials staying unified against the corridor running west of Loogootee. So I think we need to get that done. We've talked to them last week at the meeting. I think the previous document's under review. It needs to be updated. Maybe our city attorney could review that document, but I think that the first of the year we need to get those signatures and get it submitted. That's just my opinion. I don't know how anybody else feels. But we know if that corridor comes through west, it will destroy Loogootee and this county economically.
I totally agree with that.
But we can just publicly state right now that we are against it. I mean, some people question that. I mean, I get some letters from people in different places at the house. And I've said all along that I'm not for it. I don't get invited to the meetings, believe me. That the other people get invited because they know what my stance is at, but I've been adamantly against it from day one, and still am. So I'll publicly say I'm not for Mid-States Corridor whatsoever. By any means.
I think maybe in January, as Mike said, we could have something to sign and do what we need to do.
Gotta be a little creative. So thank you, Mike, for bringing that up. Anybody else will bring anything up?
I forgot to mention a couple of things real quick.
Your time is
I
fine.
know. I won't make it long, I promise. Just to let you know that we do have some open spots in our department, and we do have some candidates coming forward that the officers are gonna meet with, and give you guys a heads up what's going on there. And one more thing is, I'm putting a plug in, I don't know if I can or not, but Loogootee, we're having a chili benefit. It's back. We used to do it every year. So get on our Facebook, a lot of information's there. I can tell you a little bit now. January 31st, 11 to 1 at Southside Station. We'll have a free will sit down meal, whatever you want to give. We're more welcome to accept, take whatever. We are doing pre-orders for gallons of chili for $20. It's starting now, all up until the 31st, correct? So, well, 28th, I'm sorry. Right now, until 28th, you can pick it up on the 31st. So, again, just get on our Facebook if you would, and it tells you a little bit more details. Again, what you do is something else that we get to do, help us buy lights and other things like that, and that we may use some of that go towards our RAP fund. So
That was 11 to 1?
Yes, sir. Yes, 11 to 1. Yeah, 11 to 1's a sit down, 10 to 1 is the pickup. You can get a hold of one of us, comment on the Facebook page, and then we'll get back with you. No beans. I don't know. Daniel's cooking it, so Daniel started this up a while back, and then it got put off for a little while, but we're bringing it back, and so it's always a good time. We used to have multiple soups, but we're just going back to chili. So, all right, I'm done.
All right. One thing we've been getting, I just want to bring this up to attention, how we're going to handle this. We've been getting a lot of complaints about parking in different areas. And I know when we got to businesses, and I'm not calling any out, not calling out Los Amigos out, but over where they were, everybody's parking in different directions and on the yellow lines and past or in front of the stop signs. That's why we put the concrete barriers over there, so we had our intersections clear. We cannot, with the weather turned really cold quicker than we thought, because we're gonna still try to get lines painted in all the different areas on the side streets, our corner cafe, over there across the square, in front of New Beginnings and the housing there. And wherever we put lines, we want to get the lines set out, because we do have places that no parking, 2-hour parking, whatever it may be. And so we're putting this out now, because once we get the lines painted, we're gonna really start cracking down on all this. And the police have been getting on to them about parking halfway in the intersections and stuff like that. We've had cars moved and stuff like that in various places. So we've got some issues in several areas. It's not just one area. So we're gonna try to get that taken care of in spring, coming in the summertime.
So you're going to enforce the 2-hour parking?
Once we get the lines down, we can start enforcing 2-hour parking no matter where it's at.
Okay, thank you.
So, yeah.
He's here for the fire department. I know it's Brian this year. I'm going to bring it to your attention too, and I don't know who owns that lot in front of Greenwell's home. I don't know, Greenwell's old building. This year here, at the Christmas stroll, they had a big semi parked in there, load of lumber. We lost so much parking there.
That belongs to CSX.
Yeah, but that semi does not. It says Wegler Homes or something.
There's usually 2 of them in there.
And it took all of our, man, I heard a lot of older people complaining about that night. I'm going to bring it to the mayor's attention.
They park there every day.
Yep. And that's, we could use, the town could use that parking, because they always did it for years.
Well, I've actually been in contact, sent some information to NDOT about what it would, not NDOT, CSX about what it would be for us to get a control of that property.
Yes.
I know over there on the other side by the Methodist church, they're not allowed to park there. I don't know, it seems like every truck driver thinks that if they drive a truck that someone should provide them a place to park.
Well, I work for, had trouble down there, and they
Yeah,
had to get it
so,
fixed.
Can we enforce anything on that where they can't park there? I mean, cause actually when you come up to the stop sign, you wanna turn right, it could be a visibility issue there, and if they're not pulled up on that.
You can pass an ordinance that there's, no parking within so many feet of main road or whatever you wanna do on it. I'm not exactly sure right now I can't envision it in my head here where they're parking at, but we can sit down and take a look at it.
We'll do that, okay.
Well, I know there's some several, older people, and they probably had trouble walking, and they like to pull up with tree lighting, and there was no place to park, because the semis had it all tied up.
Yeah.
And I thought, I'm gonna talk to Brian about that, so.
And the other thing, we can go out and put signage up, no parking at such and such a time too. Come to special events.
And those big loads that truck has, that's probably not good for our streets neither.
Probably not. So, thank you.
Brian, they set up these, water notices and everything, wanting everybody to call in, let them know what their pipelines and all that is. It'd been nice if we could have read the whole thing, cause anytime you sign anything or respond to something, you wanna be able to read the small print, and you can.
Is that on the lead lines?
It's an IDEM paper. I mean, all that simply says is what we need to know.
That's an
Just
assumption.
Well,
let me tell you what it says.
Stop right here, stop. Let Daniel.
All it's trying to tell
Go
you
ahead.
that you can't read because of the print is all it says is where we need to be identifying where the line is. So that just says that that's the customer service line. We're responsible for locating it. If you're not sure what it is, then we come dig it up and we figure out what it is. It's that simple.
Yeah.
There's no signing your life away. It's an IDEM paper.
But they want us to respond to it.
Yeah, you got one last year too.
I know, and I responded last year, but nobody recorded it anywhere, because they sent me another.
Well, now it's being recorded, so.
And that's why I wanted to know what
the company that we had, they were not.
Yeah, it was a lot of it was yeah.
There were some issues there because of the data wasn't being done correctly. From what my understanding is we had to send some stuff out again. And there was other cities and towns that was having some issues with this company as well, from my understanding. So I think all that is just like I said, it's clarifying that this is where your actual line is. If you don't know if it's a lead line coming in, then we have to come out and verify it.
So the backstory to it is Flint, Michigan had their lead issue, 10 years ago or so, right? So now that lead stuff is going across the United States. It's an EPA tech, actually, not even an IDEM. So now every utility, big, small, whatever, across the United States has to follow this lead and copper stuff. So anyone that we have in the system as an unknown, by the end of 2026, has to be unknown. So right now we have 1,200 unknowns. So that means starting in January 1st of 26, I got to start going through and digging everybody's yard up to locate your water line. Just to be able to say if it's plastic or black roll plastic, PVC, copper, whatever, right? So the only issue, if you know what it is, it saves us digging your yard, saves us a lot of time and money to be doing other things. And it just speeds it up tremendously, right? And then if it's lead or galvanized, then you will be put in a different category, which there is no lead lines in Loogootee, but on our side at least. But if it's lead and galvanized, you'll be put in a separate category. And then starting in 2027, there will have to be samples made, tested yearly at the homeowner's expense, and sent off for everything to be done. So there also will be, while that's being said, or the testing is being done, it'll be offered that the city comes in and replaces your service line for you at your expense. Of material, we supply the labor, right, and the equipment. So if you're not able to hire somebody or anything, if you purchase the water material, but that's very far and few between. There's not very many people out there that have lead or galvanized. So that's all that boils down to. It's nothing, I mean,
There'll be a lot of pushback on
I
that.
don't need your driver's license number, your social security number, your bank account. I just need to know what kind of water line you have.
So does most of this predate 1980 on?
December 31st, 1986 in newer.
So anything prior to 86?
Yes, but you have to, if you're newer, I have to have your as-built to be able to turn into the state to show that it was, there's a lot of, it's not just hearsay anymore.
And there's gonna be a lot of pushback because you made the comment that the city would come in and replace the lines from the meter to the house, inside the house. That's one of the things.
Well, we can go, and that's the IDEM requirement is to the foundation, because we're not licensed plumbers, we can't go past the foundation.
But there was at one point they were saying we had to go actually in through the walls,
40
penetration,
foot.
but that's being pushed back because that opens up for huge liability for us.
Yeah, when it originally started, it was 40 foot, up to 40 foot past the foundation.
So, anyway, it is. With nothing further,
I've got a question. Next year, after you get these lines put on the streets and what, for the 2-hour parking, what are you gonna do about the people that say live in the Lockerville area, for being my place, or even the attorney's office, that's all in that 2-hour parking? What are you gonna do with these? Where do they go to park?
we'll have to go replace it. Apparently it's not 2-hour parking. I know there's stuff behind the buildings and other areas.
For everybody. Like, I think you're gonna run into some problems with that, Brian.
The ordinance are there and everything's in place.
So we see how your ordinances work out. They usually don't work out, So, all right, we'll see.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Carol?
You gotta sign papers.